И всем привет, друзья! Ну что же, наконец-таки вышел второй эпизод игры The Council. После первого эпизода я его очень дико ждал, потому что изначально я на игру вообще не ставил, не возлагал вообще никаких э, надежд вообще. То есть, ну, игра как, может, очередной такой проходняк, но в целом первый эпизод мне очень дико понравился, и вот вышел второй. И тем более, что концовка у нас с вами первого эпизода была такая довольно-таки мрачная. То есть напомню, э, нас с вами опоили. Я не помню, что мы пили, но, по-моему, вино с опиумом или что-то покрепче, но опиум там был. Или ну, короче, нас опоили, и все закончилось не очень радужно. Давайте узнавать, чем история обернется для нас в этот раз. Погнали. Так, сохранение 1, да, окей. Поехали. Вспоминать управление будем. Вдобавок еще, потому что уже месяц прошел, по-моему. Или больше.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Так. Манускрипты же, да, доступные манускрипты 2 штуки. Так, еще бы вспомнить, что у нас прокачано. Давайте посмотрим. Так, детектив у нас прокачан полностью. Мне бы, знаете, что бы не помешало? Блин, вспоминать это все. Где у нас находится скрытие замков? Ладно. Так. Этикет. Так, у нас с вами политика. Наука, эрудиция. Так, психология. Эрудиция. Убеждение. Наука. Вот это вот наука. Вот это хорош. И еще одно. Давайте убеждение. Хотя... Нет, давайте психологию выберем. Все. Начинаем задание. Кабинет лорда Мортимера. 22 января 1793 года.
At last we meet, Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
Узнать подробности.
And why is that? Can you tell me more?
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's
of
quite
the
normal.
morning.
I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
Так. Ой, выбор. Ну, блин. Мы у него первый раз, я не знаю, кто он, по сути. Давайте подождем. Нас и так подозревают, по сути, в том, что... Почему мы делали в комнате.
Good evening, Monsieur de Richet.
Likewise, Sir Gregory.
Well then, let us begin.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
Элизабет мертва?
What? Elizabeth is dead?
No. Now let us remain calm. We do not yet know, Gregory, precisely what has happened to our poor Elizabeth.
I beg your pardon? So what are you accusing me of then?
We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Откуда мне знать-то, по сути, я не знаю.
Technically, I'm simply incapable of telling you where she might be. And we never talked about her destination. What I can say is that the last time I saw Elizabeth, she was in her room. And she just decided to leave the island.
Gregory, you must admit that just because Louis doesn't know where Elizabeth is, does not prove that something's happened to her.
Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
О. Давайте будем честными. Я ей посоветовал. Окей.
She couldn't bear it anymore. She was becoming hysterical and drinking heavily. She was panic-stricken at the thought of staying here, and I didn't know she wasn't allowed to leave.
It's not that she was a prisoner here, Louis, but Elizabeth is mentally very fragile, and I fear she might do something terrible to herself or others. She wasn't ready, and you have made a grave mistake by encouraging her.
William, don't justify yourself. He won't even answer the question. What is the real reason, Monsieur de Richet?
А я чё, ну, бля, я не знаю. Из-за моей матери?
She was terrorized by my mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely. Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen if Elizabeth came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Она часто исчезала.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him, because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Я даже не знаю, что спросить. Помогали безвестному лейтенанту?
Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Я не знаю.
If only my mother had trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I'm sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Либо, ну да, либо она избегает кого-то, либо она что-то нашла. Я больше склоняюсь, что она что-то обнаружила.
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
О чем вы с ней разговаривали?
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Да, у меня нету ничего. Окей, удивляемся просто тогда.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Ты опять у меня. Да, блин, как обидно, что я не прокачал. Окей. Будем дурачка играть, что? Ну так и есть, я не прокачал.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Так, кладовая наверху, да? Окей.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Найдите башенную комнату. То есть, это... Окей, это закрыто. Ну, будем гулять, чё. По дому. Там, кстати... Что-то было новое. Вот, Вильям Мортимер. Лорд Вильям Александр Мортимер, маркиз Вестфордшир, пэр Великобритании, один из самых богатых, могущественных и таинственных британских аристократов. Лорд Мортимер был известен в деловых кругах как талантливый инвестор, но с годами стал все чаще уединяться на своем личном острове. Как ценитель искусства, он финансирует немало художников и любит сводить непохожих друг на друга деятелей культуры. Также он знакомит между собой сильных мира сего, влиятельных особ и людей нового времени. Лорд Мортимер регулярно устраивает встречи на своем острове недалеко от берегов Англии. Так, что-то я там еще. Во. Убеждения плюс вы убедили всех, что не убивали Элизабет Адамс. Окей. Так. Карта. Коридор второго этажа. Угу. Так, ну он сказал, что наверху. Пойдемте погуляем немножко по особняку, посмотрим, что изменилось. Так, это вниз, на вниз, по сути. Не надо. Наверх, насколько я помню из предыдущих, вела только одна лестница, но она сейчас почему-то закрыта. То есть, ну такое. Все закрыто. Вниз нам точно не надо, наверное. Хотя черт его знает, как эти комнаты тут расположены. Здесь все закрыто. Скорее всего, я сейчас тупо сделаю круг. Единственное, что... Мне разрешено будет сделать это, спуститься вниз. Скорее всего. Ну-ка. А, эта дверь вообще закрыта. Окей. Просто в этой игре можно как идти сразу, а можно слегка побродить, и скорее всего, может быть, какие-то события будут происходить в итоге. Но что-то пока не сейчас. А, окей, нам даже и вниз спуститься. А куда нам идти? Подожди. Я что-то туплю слегка. Куда нам идти тогда? Если сюда нас не пускает. Кладовая. Где кладовая? Комната реше, балкон. Первый этаж. Столовая. Вестибюль, малая. Личный двор. Скорее всего. Блин. Странно. Ну, давайте попробуем вторую лестницу. Если с этой лестницей мимо. Да в смысле? Найдите башенную комнату. Что-то я начинаю подтупливать, походу. На первый этаж нам нельзя.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy.
Здесь мы с вами уже все обсмотрели, по сути. Где башенная комната, я что-то вообще без понятия.
Huh, that's me.
Карта-то не особо помогает, если честно. Че он там сказал, что это гостевая комната? Ой, кладовая.
President George Washington.
Так, ну мы так можем бродить очень долго. Если мы не можем ни вниз спуститься, ни наверх подняться. Что-то... Так, это кабинет этого, окей. Да в смысле? В смысле? 2 раза я оббегал, и я тупо ее не заметил? Прикол, прикол.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Да, что-то я невнимателен.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Так. Она пишет, нужно найти более безопасный способ общаться. Кто-то нашел наш след. Положись на мою веру в мечника. Угу. Окей. Вера в мечника.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Так. Вера в мечника. Интересно, интересно. Так, стоп.
What is this disc?
Наука 1, блин. Давай возьмем. Вдруг пригодится. Может быть и нет. Я не уверен.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Вон мечник.
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion could be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and The play of colors, too. Paul facing an ordeal. The curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Так.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve.
Так, надо... Предметы. Временно показывает, к чему собеседник испытывает слабость и устойчивость. Восстанавливает 2 очка. Позволяет применить следующий навык, не потратив очков действия. Снимает отрицательные эффекты. Окей. Так.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Открыть почему бы нет?
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Подумать, как ее открыть.
I'm gonna need something to help me get the key that fell on the floor. The door was closed from the inside. Would Mother have provided something within reach to recover it?
Понятно, диск.
We'll see if it works. It's open.
Так, окей.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting, and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean?
Ну-ка, если логикой пойти.
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
А если хитрость?
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11.
В смысле? Ну я же потратил одну...
A connection with the figure, maybe?
Офигеть, я потратил одну, чтобы услышать одно и то же. Окей. Я думал, он что-то другое скажет, потому что в прошлом эпизоде, если ты меняешь типа логику или хитрость, он чуть-чуть по-другому мыслит.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Открыть левый, открыть правый. Пока нечем. Окей, мы можем применить взлом, но...
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Так.
A Chinese coin. the New Testament.
Да ну нахер.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
Блин, не видно нифига.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
Так. Ох, еще бы. Честь послания к римлянам, второе послание. Вот, прочесть глава 11, стих 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Самый молодой апостол, а я что, знаю, что ли?
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course! There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer.
Ну это мы уже поняли. Нам понять, что за код-то в итоге.
They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Так, пророчество Иоанна 1.3, что ли? Бля, фоп.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Угу.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Rini. There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Окей, давайте.
Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible. No, nothing of value here.
Ссылка к Библии, окей, я понял.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Так, окей, это не эта картина, то есть...
A fragment of amber.
Так. Опять к Библии идти, что ли? Чё?
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Так, а... Чё там? Янтарь? Ща, погоди. Вот Иоанна. Один 3 должно быть, по-моему. Странно.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Так, первая часть посланий Павла. Прочесть послание к римлянам, прочесть главу 11, стих 11. Окей, это я сделал. Ага. Самый молодой из апостолов. Это же он.
On the second day, the pilgrims listened to the prophecy of the young apostle. The prophecy of the young apostle. That was John. And the prophecy mentioned is most likely the book of Revelations according to St. John.
Откровение Иоанна Богослова. Окей. А какой из них? На удачу.
Saying with a loud voice, "Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing."
Мимо.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine."
Да, блин.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
Я что-то про цифры вообще не понял ни хера. Серьезно. Как мы... Глаз ангела. Это вот этот. Глаз, в смысле, не глаз, а голос. Скорее всего, это ты.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible.
Ну а толку-то? Блин.
Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Или это не он?
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Походу не он. Или вот этот. Хотя нет. Или...
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Недоступно, недоступно.
The drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Фух, так. Эрудиция и наука у меня. Ну да. Все по нулям, черт. А че он там?
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Паломники. Опять сюда, что ли? Или... Блин, как...
I guess I'll just come back later.
Глаз ангела мы нашли. Но, блин, что там про паломников-то? Я нифига не понял.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
Он 13-й апостол. Ну и чё? Зачем так усложнять-то, ну? Блин, я что-то вообще не понимаю.
guess I'll just come back later.
Так. Хер тут и подсказок-то таких-то особо. Я не понимаю, честно. Что-то я... Здесь может что-нибудь быть?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come? This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Так, окей. Сейчас мы добьем эту головоломку. Она что-то слегка заумная. Либо я. 4. Вот.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Мимо, понятно.
Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
Да в смысле?
This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind. Not in the lustful desire, even as the Gentiles who knew not God. In him God has chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we may be holy and blameless before him.
Да в смысле? Ой, твою мать, что мне делать? Жду ваше послание, как он глаз народа. Окей. Мы нашли эту картину. Я не могу с ней ничего сделать.
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Город Коринф. В Библии есть что-нибудь? Я уже начинаю тупить прям просто жестоко.
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but
Я
at the
это
things
читал
which
уже.
are not seen.
Это не
The
работает
things
почему.
which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Окей, сейчас будем тогда.
How shall not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious?
Да в смысле? Я просто уже не... А, хотя подожди. Есть первое, есть второе послание. Фак, а цифры?
Now I pray to God that ye do no evil, not that we should appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest, for we are as reprobates. For we are unto God a sweet savor of Christ, in them that are saved, and in them that perish.
Да, я уже не понимаю, серьезно. Давай по порядку.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's. If we have hope in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
У меня
The
подсказок-то
Jews
нет
require a
никаких.
sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
А что-то шансы тают прям.
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look,
Жесть.
here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian? Volner? I must have a word with him. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Следуй за первой группой к Марку. Даст долгожданный ответ. Ой, что-то меня это начинает утомлять. Это головоломка, она какая-то. Марк.
Then they suborned men, which said, We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
Ой, фак. Не понимаю ни хера. Давайте встретимся, выбирайте место и время, но только не сегодня. Я не смогу прийти. Последую за первой группой к Марку, который даст долгожданный ответ.
And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread, and blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Да твою мать, мы про Марка прочитали, я не понимаю.
Painting of
Святой
St.
Марк.
Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. There's nothing worth noticing here. No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years. There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Их 8.
Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew. Choosing the Hebrew alphabet is no coincidence. It's got to be a reference to the Bible.
Ну это понятно, что отсылка к Библии, но в Библии что конкретно мне искать, я не понимаю. Так, шкатулку.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Так. Просто запутался уже, где что.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us.
Открыть Евангелие от Марка. Тут нет ничего такого.
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
Я не понимаю. Последую за первой группой к Марку, который даст долгожданный ответ. Блять, что вы хотите сказать этим переводом? Блять, может, если бы было на английском, было бы не так, блять, трудно, потому что, может быть, в английской локализации это намного проще. Потому что, может быть, из-за локализации теряется смысл. Не бегаю уже, я не знаю, чё я бегаю.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Цифры эти, я уже запутался, что к чему идет. Окей, мы сейчас выбираем святого Марка. Но почему в Библии про святого Марка? Вот. Откровение от Марка. Здесь нет цифры 8, нет цифры что-то еще.
But though we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread, and blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them, and said, Take, eat, this is my body. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. For as much as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers.
Просто уже наугад, я не знаю.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. Thou hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him. But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned.
Серьезно?
There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the acts counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Серьезно, эта головоломка еще не прекратилась?
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Pliny. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Что мне надо теперь? Когда апостол Павел понял, что считаются ли деяния, он вернулся назад. Пускай ваш ответ передаст один из паломников, что находится по его левую руку. Где этот апостол? Сейчас какой-то, я просто уже не могу. Это что-то назад затянутая какая-то. Это
St. Paul on the road to
Павел,
Damascus
вот.
by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Ну их двое.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean?
По левую руку. Если мы берем эту картину. Окей. Вот он стоит по левую руку, левая рука. Вот этот. А это кто у нас?
The drawing of the Apostle
Апостол
Matthew,
Матфей.
painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the
Matthew.
Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Матфей, да? Когда это закончится-то? Это уже неинтересно.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh.
Мимо. Окей.
But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort, thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Take heed that ye practice your justice before men, to be seen differently by them. Otherwise, ye shall have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
Да в смысле? Паломник по левую руку.
I guess I'll just come
Я
back
не
later.
понимаю. Я уже запутался, серьезно. Нахера делать такую головоломку с Библией, со всей этой... Блять, я не понимаю, зачем. Когда апостол... Когда апостол Павел понял, что считаются лишь деяния, он вернулся назад. Пускай ваш ответ передаст. Что мне вообще уходить надо отсюда. Нет, нельзя. Ну Матвей же здесь, по левую руку от Павла.
so many came and couldn't find the body of the Lord Jesus.
Я не понимаю, что от меня хотят.
Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia.
Тоже не работает. Вернуться назад, то есть.
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Твою мать, я был почему-то уверен.
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle?
Да это
What does
мы
Mother
уже
mean by that?
читали.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Я не понимаю, что от меня хотят. По левую руку от Павла. Павел здесь и Павел здесь.
But though we, or an angel from heaven, preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit not be more glorious? Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
Здесь можно засесть вообще надолго. Что, собственно говоря, с нами происходит.
Thou hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him. For what thanks can we render to God again for you, for all the joy we found in you before our God? For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. Do all things without murmurings and disputes. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind. In him God has chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we may be holy and blameless before him.
Начинаю сдаваться.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt
Я не
about with
понимаю
truth,
эти
and having
загадки
on the
вот такие
breastplate
вот.
of righteousness. Not in the lustful desire, even as the Gentiles who knew not God.
По правую руку паломника, апостола Павла. То есть, блядь, ну серьезно. Если брать эту картину, потому что их две.
Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient toward all men.
Ну то есть вот, этот
St. Paul
апостол
by
Павел.
Guido Reni.
Ну их два.
Strange. St. Paul is shown twice, unlike the other disciples. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? Of the four apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
Ну и что мне это дает? Евангелист, 13-й апостол.
The drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni, he's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Почему?
The This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust has built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Ой, такой бред, короче. Я уже не знаю, что делать, серьезно.
And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests which did so. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
Я не знаю. Вообще.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Вернулся назад. Куда назад? Что?
Dear E,
Да
I'm glad you found this note.
твою мать.
I was afraid the code of the 2 groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative.
Полтора часа сидеть, просто разгадывать эту головоломку.
What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Что-то мне этот эпизод не очень нравится. Серьезно, в первом хотя бы головоломки не такие были. Завязанные на Библии, на... Я знаю, кто у него по левую руку.
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean? I guess I'll just come back later.
Так, давайте небольшой перерыв сделаем, потому что я не знаю, у меня уже мозги кипят, я не соображаю, что вообще происходит. Фу, сейчас на 10 минут перерывчик сделаем и вернемся. Ну что ж, продолжаем. Так. Этой загадки. Ой, так. У нас две картины апостола Павла. Раз и два.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Здесь
This painting
цифра
has been for a
4.
long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Цифра 4. И он дважды изображен. Все равно не понимаю.
And he became very hungry.
Серьезно?
But while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother and reply to
Как?
Eve.
Что?
We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Иносказание, наверное.
I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Записка из Библии. Матушкина записка из Библии Гутенберга. Мне сказано, нам нужно срочно уходить, но сперва я должна заглянуть за ночной кошмар. Я не понял послания матушки. Я восстановил свое доброе имя, я нашел все записки матушки, нашел послание матушки. Я смог осмотреть кабинет лорда Мортимера. В смысле, я не понял послание матушки? Окей. Так, что бы нам прокачать-то теперь? У нас 4 навыка. Кинем сюда. Кинем сюда. Сюда можно кинуть. Ну и... сюда. Так, манускрипты. Давайте так.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
малой гостиной. Малая гостиная у нас... Так, откуда быстрее? Отсюда, по-моему. Да в смысле? Почему мне нельзя спуститься быстро на первый этаж? С тобой можно поговорить?
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Окей.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay.
Не выдавать матушку.
If Mother's really killed her sister, I'd better find her by myself. They say they spent a lot of time together. They got along well.
Oh, really? Do you think your mother liked Duchess Hillsborough?
Of course she did. After all, she's your sister. Well, we'll find them, Emily. Trust me.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Да давайте правду расскажем.
Emily, there's something else.
Go on then.
It's about your sister. I don't know what happened exactly, but it's possible that my mother had a go at her.
I know, Louis. I found out that same evening. Well, thanks for not trying to hide it.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know if I could trust you. Now I know I can. It seems that your mother tricked Emma. She apparently asked her to hide an important book, so that even she wouldn't know where it was. And then she shot her like a dog to make sure no one would ever find it again.
Why would she do that?
I don't know, Louis. But I'll find out. You can count on that.
I'm sincerely sorry, Emily.
Thank you, Louis. But you do realize your mother will have to accept the consequences of her acts.
There must be an explanation, Emily.
That's what we shall see. Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia.
He's the head of the Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined. What? The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Oh, as if...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for 1 vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richer.
Are you related to Sarah de Richer?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Ой, так, ну что? Мануэль Годой.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too.
Of course.
I heard about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Так, фон Вельнер. Так, сейчас мы... где этот? Мануэль Годой. Мануэль Годой, первый министр Испании. Став фаворитом испанского короля Карла IV, Годой быстро добился успеха на политическом поприще. Он был любовником королевы Марии Луизы Пармской, чему завидовали многие испанские принцы. Получив должность первого министра, Годой расширил и укрепил испанскую колониальную империю, особенно владения в Северной и Южной Америке. Дружил с королем Франции Людовиком XVI, который пытался спасти после свержения, но безуспешно. С тех пор ненавидит французское республиканское правительство. Годой прибыл в особняк лорда Мортимера по приглашению сэра Грегори Холма, чтобы остановить экспансию США в Северной Америке. Так, мы сейчас с вами посмотрим. У него неизвестно, какие слабости и какие сильные стороны. Окей. Она вам дорога?
Hear you speak, it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
The cat's out of the bag now. More or less, but please do refresh my memory.
Yes, of course. Nothing of great importance in itself. During one of our discussions, she spoke of an old book which might have been of interest to me, and she had agreed to let me have it.
A book about what?
Ancient occultism. As you are aware, I am a doctor of theology. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
Так, ответить уклончиво.
The least one can say is that he doesn't beat around the bush.
Sarah never travels without a few books. What does the one you're looking for look like exactly?
It resembles a grimoire. It's divided into 7 parts, each one individually locked. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. It's a unique copy. There's only one.
The mere mention of it makes his face light up.
Well, I'll take a closer look, but I can't promise you anything. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchet in Paris. Do you know him?
Спросить...
I've never heard of him. I'm sorry. I haven't been much help to you.
Well, too bad.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, von Volner. You're the one who von Burchert was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game. Please know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess. You're dear king, I should think.
What? You mean Frederick William? Oh, my poor fellow. You are miles away. That stupid, pretentious puppet wields no real power. But seeing as you do not wish to be serious, so be it. Good luck to you.
Окей. Узнайте, о чем говорится в записке.
A Chinese coin. There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest. No space left. I'll retrieve it later. No space left. I'll retrieve it later. Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Так, а золотой эликсир у нас... Снимает отрицательный эффект. Так, в этой комнате только Наполеон. Может, еще что-то есть здесь? Окей.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed.
That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, If you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
Окей, спасибо.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Так, у Наполеона, по-моему, где он? А вот. Убеждение, устойчивость. А это что? Допрос.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deed before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Так, он мне подсказал идти в библиотеку. Библиотека тут, окей.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service, day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
Воды мне.
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Окей. До свидания. Угу. Здрасте.
Go beyond the nightmare. Does this line remind you of anything in particular?
You've caught me unaware here, Louis. Let me think about it a second. No, nothing comes to mind. Sorry, Louis, but I am unable to help you.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
Какую обстановку?
What do you mean?
The situation is ready to explode with France over Catalonia.
Well, the Duke must have a darn good reason to be absent and come here, mustn't he?
When Lord Mortimer invites you, Louis, you come. It's always in your best interest.
I wouldn't say that personally, but...
Mm-hmm.
Mr. President, can you tell me a little more about the coming conference?
Of course, Louis. That's why we're here. Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory regularly organize meetings like this to put forward major projects.
What do you mean by major projects?
I'd prefer to let Lord Mortimer explain that to you, Louis. Let's say he brings together influential people in order to consider possible actions to undertake to guarantee the future of nations.
Do you know the theme of the conference?
Not in the slightest. None of the guests know the theme before arriving. But you'll see, everything will turn out fine. Don't worry.
Все, пока.
Well, thank you for your time.
Don't mention it, my young friend. Regarding your question on the nightmare, don't hesitate to question the others about it. Maybe one of them knows more than I do.
That's a good idea. Thank you once again. I'll see you in a little bit.
Ну, Наполеон мне уже дал подсказку, что может быть, скорее всего, в библиотеке. Туда мы пойдем.
Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Падре.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Сам виноват.
Your Eminence, I'm sorry for King Louis, but he did everything to put himself there.
Louis, how can you say such a thing? Even if France rejects the church, you don't go and behead a person of high status. They always serve our cause better alive than dead. Politically, it's absurd.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Louis, I'm counting on you. If you don't find Sarah before my departure, I must ask you to give me back the letter I gave you.
Well, don't worry about that, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Узнать тему собрания.
I'm sure a man like you is in the circle of trust. Would you know what the conference that Lord Mortimer mentioned is going to be about?
Not really, my son. Well, be it Lord Mortimer or Sir Gregory, we are never informed about the theme of the conference before it begins.
Спросите о ночном кошмаре.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Так, надо это... Какие у него... Где он, этот падре-то? Яджи. Нет. Да. Допрос... Логика. А манипулирование.
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall behind his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited. It is titled The Nightmare, and it shows a woman lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
You never know. Thank you for that, though, Your Eminence.
I gotta go and see it just in case, though.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
Окей, мне нечего ответить ему.
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Так, кстати, он мне дал очень хорошую наводку. Идите в кабинет Мортимера. Мне назад надо сейчас. Окей, пойдем назад. Значит, все-таки про картину был разговор, да? Ну, скорее всего, раз задание обновилось. Значит, речь была про картину в записке матери. Так. Может, еще встретим кого-нибудь? Хотя я не уверен. Ну, чем черт не ш... О! Здрасте, мадам.
What do you want, Louis?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
I doubt that Lord Mortimer invited him for his charm, if you want my opinion.
Так, спросите при следующем собрании.
Emily, what can you tell me about the coming conference?
Sir Gregory and Lord Mortimer organize this kind of high society meeting every so often in order to consider the world situation.
But to what purpose?
Well, by bringing together the most influential people from the dominant nations of the modern world, they allow the mighty to discuss matters with calm clarity. There are precedents of armistices being signed at the end of these talks, you know. Talking while holding a glass of brandy makes things easier. You'll see.
Спасибо за информацию.
You're leaving me?
Unfortunately, I have things to do. Thank you again, madam.
В кабинет-то нас пустят? То есть там сейчас никого нет, что ли? Легко можно зайти. Странно.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Ключ с окольным символом вода. Ага, можно было вернуться.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub?
the worm before it's attained its final form. Charming.
Так, есть здесь что-нибудь полезное еще?
Book of the Mortimer family.
И чего?
The Book of the Mortimer family.
Странно. Видимо, еще в дальнейшем эта книга понадобится. Мне бы меда хорошему. То у меня запас что-то подысяк.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
ПМНТ. Вторая буква. Ой, ну-ка. Пакт. Нет?
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
В смысле? Чё, я думал, игра сломалась. Чё, тоже нет, что ли?
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Так. Окей, ладно. Не знаю. Гадать я понятия не имею. Хотя вроде не сложно, да, по сути. Перебрать методом. Пень. Давай. Почему на последней букве он так тупит? Реально игра тормозит на последней букве. Ой. Не знаю.
The Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. family ancestor, apparently.
Говорящая птица там, прикольно.
A painting about a siege, dated.
Ну-ка. А, у меня нету ничего.
A minor bird.
Well, Waldo, is your master good?
Sarah Deriche? Waldo, you know Sarah? Let's take a closer look.
Да я не знаю, конфеты, ягоды. Поймешь, чем эту птицу кормить.
It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research. It looks like a war painting. It's dated. Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Так, стоп, а там не было? Что у меня сейчас мысля пришла.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Окей, нет. Я думал дата, но нет, видимо нет.
No, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer's fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Счета за 1792 год. Еда, свечи, солнечный камень, каримский мрамор, дрова, витражное окно, подлинники картин, ткани, вина, вода, порох, всего. В следующем году урезать расходы на дрова. Окей. То же самое. 2 раза, что ли? А, нет. Мистер Палетти. Пишу к вам касательно датировки картин, которые вы получили от меня на время выставки. Примите во внимание, что они входят в мою коллекцию и датированы по масонскому календарю. Как вы могли уже догадаться, вам следует вычесть 4000 из каждой даты, если не хотите привести посетителей в замешательство. Напоминаю, что масонское летоисчисление начинается с марта, а не с января. Что касается картины с Лонгином, я взял на себя смелость подправить копье, чтобы оно больше походило на настоящее. Настаиваю, чтобы вы поступили так же. Искренне ваш лорд Уильям Александр Мортимер, маркиз Уэстфордширский. Так. Теперь можно... наука доступна у меня? Нет. Что доступно?
Let's take a closer look.
А в смысле?
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about.
Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Ну, скорее всего, это вот этот. А, хотя, стоп. Твою мать, чё так сложно-то?
Aha, I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Так. Посмотреть колесики.
Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller.
Ага. Ну-ка.
It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9.
Цифра 1 и цифра 3. Так.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. As if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
О.
This painting isn't finished. And it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period.
Так, и чё? Здесь должны же здесь подсказки быть, правильно?
A minor bird.
Спросите у него код.
Tell me the door code.
Я не знаю, чем его кормить. Конфетами или...
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
Мне не хватит все равно. Окей.
Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. It's Christ on the cross as Longinus pierces his side with a spear. Rubens, he was a great painter.
И чего? Окей, ты посмотрел на эту картину.
Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL.
Ну там в письме говорилось, что 4000 надо отнимать. Окей, но у меня ничего нету, чтобы эрудицию включить. Так, письмо. $4000 с каждой даты.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre-Amédée de la Salle. Strange. All the dates are all wrong. They indicate events that took place in the year 5000 and something? Wait, did I miss something? The Crusades took place not long after the year 1000. Here all the dates say 5000 and something. I'm guessing this dating system begins 4,000 years before the calendar that we use. Yet, I'm getting the feeling that there's something else, another small detail, but what is it?
Mm-hmm.
The famous call of Pope Urban II. 20 years after the capture of Jerusalem from the Arabs by the Turks, Urban II convened the council. He promises a plenary indulgence to Christians who go and get Jerusalem back from the Turks. The result, the Jewish community on the road to Jerusalem found itself persecuted for no reason. 12,000 Jews would perish, not to mention the massacre of Ma'ara, where acts of cannibalism by Frankish crusaders were reported, or even the capture of Jerusalem, where approximately 30,000 were left dead. It signaled the beginning of centuries of wars of religion. Or how Louis VII, King of France, eager to be pardoned for the death of thousands of innocent people in the fire of the Church of Vitry, convinces the Pope to authorize him to lead his own crusade. The result, in Germany, a new outburst of violence against the Jewish community, and a monumental fiasco by poor Louis VII, cuckolded by his wife's uncle. The famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi Bull of 5187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5190 AL, whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years.
Так.
It's a complex mechanism.
Третье кольцо неисправно, но застревает на цифре 9. Окей.
Gets stuck on number 9. Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller.
Второго колеса. И последнего. Да давай ты. О. Да как это неудобно.
Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4,000? I must have missed a subtlety. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Или здесь надо...
Damn it. It doesn't work. 5,190. I was pretty sure it was right. Maybe I didn't use the right dating system.
Так, 1.9.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre Amédée de la Salle. Strange. All the dates are all wrong. They indicate events that took place in the year 5000 and something? Wait, did I miss something? The famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi Bull of 5187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5190 AL, whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years.
Восемь, семь.
Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
Серьезно? Окей.
Open sesame.
Почему 91-й?
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Murderer.
Лорд Мортимер, с сожалением сообщаю, что давление России с каждым днем становится сильнее. Императрица Екатерина сделает все, чтобы граф Прованский стал регентом французского королевства, поскольку король Людовик сошел с политической сцены. Простите за дурные вести, но готовьтесь к темным временам. Ваш друг Эльфрида Бауэр.
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
Карта Востока. Так, сэр, мы поддерживаем ваше намерение вмешаться в политику Бельгии. Я беру на себя прусскую армию. Отправив пушки в Вальме, вы обеспечили нам победу. Как мы и договаривались, прусский король предупрежден о нападении Кюстена и Северной армии. Я не пущу австрийцев в Бельгию. Сейчас же мне нужно вернуться в Париж. Боюсь, королю Людовику уготована печальная участь, и я считаю своим долгом вмешаться. Если извольте написать мне письмо, передайте его, как обычно, через нашего друга месье Перю. Искренне ваш Шарль Франсуа де Мурье, генерал Северной армии.
Locked.
Дорогой лорд Мортимер, Мортимер, вы помогли Китаю, сообщив важные сведения, и вас ждет вознаграждение. Чтобы Великобритания не замыслила против нас, не переживайте. Ее представитель, мистер Маккартни, во время своего визита ничего от нас не добьется. Ваш друг Цинь Лун, император династии Цин. Уильям, не знаю, чего ты добиваешься, но отец выражает недовольство твоим влиянием на Европу. Россия собирается примкнуть к коалиции против твоей любимой Франции. Ты не сможешь долго сопротивляться. Прошу тебя, Уильям, не упрямься, ты вносишь разлад в нашу семью. С любовью, твой брат. Г. По скриптум. Я посещу твое собрание, но не считаешь ли ты, что сейчас не время его проводить? Окей.
It shows the forces present in Europe. It's clear that France is surrounded by her enemies. However, a large number has been underlined in bold. 26 million. I know what it is. It's an estimation of my country's population. All our neighbors have far fewer inhabitants.
Дорогой друг, благодарю вас за письмо и разделяю ваши опасения. Сожалею, что придется объявить войну, но иногда выхода из сложившейся ситуации я не вижу. По вашему наставлению я с тяжелым сердцем отправляюсь на встречу с коалицией, которая выступает против нас. Надеюсь на сотрудничество в будущем. Георг, король Ганновера и Соединенного Королевства Великобритании и Ирландии. Окей, так, что еще здесь есть? Дорогой друг, как вы и просили, я собрал друзей, чтобы подписать предложенный вами договор. Отныне будем называть его Батонвудским соглашением. Если вы вспомните место, где впервые встретились с нами, то поймете, почему мы так назвали его. Прилагаю к письму список своих коллег. Леонард Бликер, Уолл-стрит 16, Хью Смит, кофейня, 20 Coffee House, Армстронг энд Барнвелл, Брод-стрит 58, Сэмюэл Марч, Квин-стрит 243, Эндрю Д. Барклей, Перл-стрит 136, Бенджамин Сейшас, Ханновер-сквер 8, Джон Генри, Дюк-стрит 13, Джон Буш, Уолтер-стрит 195, Дэвид Риди, Уолл-стрит 58. Благодаря вам мы вскоре сможем собираться в моей кофейне. С нетерпением жду встречи, Хью Смит. Окей. Дорогой друг, премного благодарю вам за помощь в борьбе с испанцами и возвращением Арана. Корабль, идущий в французский Марсель, зафрактован. На его борту находится несколько тел погибших от чумы, которая свирепствует в нашей стране. Будьте предельно осторожны с этими ящиками. Если их случайно откроют, чума может быстро охватить всю Францию. Мохаммед Эль-Кебир.
This shows the forces present in America.
Так. Подарок доставлен. Тимур Шах Дурнани, правитель Афганистана, Пенджаба, Синда, Мешхеда и Кашмира, скоро оставит престол. Как мы и хотели, власть перейдет к его сыну Заману. После этого мы возобновим переговоры.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
Милорд, надеюсь, вы получили это письмо. Мои дни сочтены. Типографию конфисковали, а меня заточили в Шлиссельбургской крепости. Если вам удастся вмешаться и вызволить меня, я буду перед вами в вечном долгу. В ближайшее время Екатерина закроет все ложи Золотого Ордена в Империи. Наше будущее представляется весьма мрачным. С надеждой на спасение, ваш друг Николай Новиков. О как.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns even for Mortimer.
Лорд Мортимер, прошу вас убедить президента Вашингтона не подписывать закон о беглых рабах в нынешнем виде. Этот вопрос нужно решить на национальном уровне, а не в каждом штате в отдельности. Законопроект помогал разрешить конфликт между Пенсильванией и Вирджинией, но подписав его, мы рискуем узаконить охоту на негров. Все больше людей отправляются на поиски беглых рабов, никого не находят и похищают первого попавшегося негра, чтобы выдать его за сбежавшего раба. Напряжение в стране стремительно растет. Заранее благодарю за помощь. Ваш друг Джон Адамс. Передайте привет моей дочери Элизабет. Лорд Мортимер, с прискорбием сообщаем, что наша польская компания может провалиться. Россия и Пруссия готовятся бескровить нашу любимую Польшу. Мы бессильны. Пока что стоим на границе с Пруссией, сдерживаем армию Фридриха Вильгельма, но неизвестно, сколько еще протянем. Ваша верная слуга Эльфрида Бауэр. Такой-то прям политический заговор. Все держит прям вообще. Посмотрим, осмелитесь ли вы встретиться со мной тет-а-тет.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is this stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from.
Угу. Найдите свою мать. Подожди. Так, а это мы читали? Да. Подожди, еще не все.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever. Something strange about this table. The little surgeon's perfect collection.
Обнаружена устойчивость. Наука. Угу. Окей.
Strange. I don't recognize the alphabet. I wonder where the pictograms are from. It isn't Egyptian or Hebrew. There are two inscriptions on the sides as well as on the top. No way to know what's underneath. Absolutely no idea what it's for, but I find this cube fascinating. Looks like obsidian or onyx. It must weigh a ton. These are feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid. Oh, his right hand is missing.
Лорд Мортимер, как вы и просили, я изменил ваш старый замок. Вдохновившись речью вашего друга доктора Гильотена, я разработал новый замок и надеюсь, что вам понравится прототип. Замок не просто собрать, но он будет расположен прямо посередине двери. Цель — добавить некую изюминку, не изменяя механизма. В зависимости от расположения колесика вышеупомянутый замок либо откроется, либо накажет грешника. Я назвал свое изобретение испытанием веры. Сколько добродетельный человек не стал бы к нему приближаться. Надеюсь, вы оцените иронию. Гюстав Монтран, архитектор. Окей, это замок еще. Сомнительный. Лорд Мортимер, тигр умирает. Вашей просьбой мы напали на Траванкоры, перерезали глотки всем англичанам, которым могли, но без помощи французов. Мои солдаты долго не продержатся. Вы прислали нам новые снаряды, но наши силы уже на исходе. Прошу, помогите. Типу Сахи, правитель Майсура.
Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me. It is a typical draw on a line that answers a specific question. To the left, Temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the Chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the Emperor evokes a future full of power and stability. Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for. I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais. 3 rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long. That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
Лорд Мортимер, прошу вас не сомневаться в моей верности. План сработал. Крестьяне Ван Дей готовят мятеж. Мои люди стараются усилить давление на народ. Учредительное собрание накалило обстановку, приняв закон о гражданском устройстве духовенства. Люди массово отвергают священников и клянутся в верности государству. Если национальный конвент и правда спровоцирует народное восстание, вопрос будет решен. Не смею вам указывать, но массовый призыв на войну вдали от родины существенно усилит революционное настроение. Ваш верный слуга Франсуа Атанас Шарет де ла Контри. Дорогой друг, дела у нас идут просто великолепно. Мы приняли монетный акт и не собираемся по вашему указанию основать первый американский банк, который, вероятно, получит название Union Bank. Строительство Белого дома начнется в октябре. Я прослежу, чтобы все было сделано в срок. Надеюсь на скорую встречу. Томас Джефферсон, государственный секретарь.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual Von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those.
Что еще? Наука, это понятно, мы уже обнаружили.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Ключ закутан Ух ты, нормально.
Honey, the remedy of the gods. The table of alchemical elements.
So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
Так, ну вроде мы с вами здесь все посмотрели. Все, можно на выход, да?
Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
А если так же? Один. Один. Девять. Один.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. Looks like the same as the one on the other side.
Ну-ка, опустить.
Whoa, whoa. If the grid closes a bit more every time I enter a wrong date, I'd better not mess up again. It doesn't seem to be working. This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side. The mechanism passes through the wall. The wheels are the same on both sides. Chances are the combination I used on the other side works on this side too.
Так я и ввел. Или че я вводил-то, я уже забыл. Единица, девятка. Только это не девятка, а шестерка. Девятка вот тут.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Сейчас убьет меня, наверное. Да в смысле? Я же вел то же самое.
Wheels are stuck. Shit! I'm cornered like a rat.
Дела плохи. Ой, да.
Someone's coming. Please don't let it be Mortimer. Who is it?
Deliberately avoiding me. 4 years ago I was his favorite, but nowadays I have to ask for an audience with his lordship.
Damn it! It's Peru.
Промолчать.
I don't know if I should, but
Well, that's it. I've had enough of being humiliated.
I'm wasting my time here.
After everything I've done on his behalf, he dares treat me like a lackey?
Да промолчи.
I've bled the Parisian elite for the sake of his whims, and what have I got to show for it? Doesn't even have the courtesy to give me 5 minutes of his time. I wanted to put my mind at ease. Well, that's done. I know what I've got to do now.
I must find my mother. So much for discretion.
Monsieur Peru, it's me, Monsieur de Riche.
What the devil is going on?
I need your help.
Where are you, de Riche?
Behind the painting. Open it, please. I've shut myself in. There's a pedal under Lord Mortimer's desk. Can you see it?
There's no... Hang on. Yes.
Good. Now press it.
Yeah. Done.
You should see something resembling a frame with numbers. Yes? You have to turn them to set the combination.
1191 была комбинация.
1191.
Я такую ввел. Меня закрыло. Почему?
Well. Poking our nose into Mortimer's little secrets, are we? You do surprise me.
It's not what you're thinking. I'll explain everything.
No, you will not, sir. It has nothing to do with me, and by the way, I never even saw you. So, I'll be on my way now.
Thanks again. You had me trapped. Why not say anything?
I would have wanted someone to open the door for me, too. And while it's too late for me, it may not be for you.
I don't understand.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I've wasted enough time. I better get moving if I want to find my mother.
Я же ввел код 1191. Почему он не сработал? Так. Угу. Окей. Так, уклонение, наука. Все, прокачано все. Дальше уже будем думать. Так, 3 манускрипта. Пусть будет наука, политика. Логика. Погнали дальше.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
Найдите, откуда взялся меч.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask them. We must absolutely inform Sir Gregory. How long has he been trying to collect all the spears?
I must have brought him the first one 20-odd years ago.
Do you know if he has managed to get the original?
Well, in any case, he's got all the ones we had at the Vatican. He made me replace them with copies. But I don't understand your reaction. I'm sure it is nothing serious.
Aha. I can see very well you do not understand. You have done nothing less than sign our death warrants, and still you don't understand.
Someone is listening.
What? Monsieur de Richet, why not join us rather than find yourself eavesdropping?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. So, my son, what can we do for you?
I was wondering if you might have seen an object like this, here, at the manor.
What are you playing at, de Richet?
I'm afraid I can't help you, my son. Ask someone who knows the manor better than I do. One of the servants, for example. One of them is bound to help you.
Thank you for your advice, Your Eminence. I didn't mean to spy on you, but you caught my attention. Your Eminence, I don't know what you said to Mr. von Boldenow, but the poor fellow looks positively crestfallen.
Not at all.
Don't you believe it, Louis. I was just telling Monsieur about Lord Mortimer's burning passion for holy relics. You must have noticed he's a bit of a collector. Well, for years he has been searching high and low to bring all the copies of the Holy Spear together. As I was coming here, I thought I'd bring him a few of them. That's all.
Be quiet, for God's sake. Please leave us, monsieur. His Eminence and I wish to finish our discussion alone.
Ой, окей, так. Да, мне на первый этаж надо услуги спросить. Здравствуйте. Где это я, кстати? Я отсюда еще не ходил. Да я здесь и не был-то.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation and is consequently inaccessible to guests.
Could you perhaps help me?
What can I do for you, sir?
Where did this sword come from?
From the garden, sir. That sword belongs to one of the statues in the garden.
Thank you very much.
Don't mention it, sir.
Угу. Чего? Какая загрузка? Загрузка чего? Я не выходил на другую локацию.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Открыть правый замок. Угу. Ну, все окупилось, в принципе. Так, отсюда я... Отсюда я не выйду. Так, это кто? Вашингтон. Я с тобой уже говорил.
Is everything all right, my young friend?
Wonderful.
Isn't that lovely? Well, see you later.
Так, ну пойдемте в сад тогда. Это второй эпизод немного подтупливает. То есть загрузки непонятные какие-то. Я подхожу к этому шкатулке, у меня загрузочный экран. Ну в смысле? Так. Стоп, 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 стоп. Почему +1?
Amber crystals.
И все. Ну такое.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
У меня есть этот ключ? Нету. Не буду тратить на эту шкатулку. Потому что, может быть, пригодится, скорее всего, в дальнейшем. Так, выход. Внешний двор, вот.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Так, сад, окей, сад. А как мне в сад-то попасть?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Could you tell me where this sword comes from, please?
Certainly, sir. How did such a sword come into sir's hands?
My good man, I'm afraid you're overstepping your role. You're the one who's supposed to be giving the answers, not me.
Naturally. I hope that sir will forgive me. If I were sir, I would look in the garden. This sword looks like it's from the garden statues.
And how can I get into the garden?
There are two ways, sir. The first way to get to the garden is by the hall, between the conference room and the portrait gallery. The second way is directly through the portrait gallery. Sir would just have to go out by the French windows.
Thank you, my good man.
Вот черт, я ж там был. Ну кто знал, кто знал. Хотя можно было попробовать бы выйти через портретную галерею. Попробовать, по крайней мере, на улицу. Я помнил, что нельзя было оттуда выйти, я думал другой вход. Так, это не портретная галерея.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Так, где тут? А, вот, походу, выход. Ну да. Чё ж я сразу-то не попробовал? Окей, не страшно. Новая локация, тем не менее. В саду мы еще не были.
The sword probably came from this garden, but what could it have been used for?
Лабиринт какой-то, твою мать. А, не. Я думал, тупик.
Icarus.
Икар был без меча.
Son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. If I remember rightly, Icarus was the son of Daedalus. He found himself confined to the labyrinth with his father after his father betrayed Minos. And his father's plan to escape from the labyrinth wasn't any more successful. Man, that kid was jinxed. Well, let's keep going.
Ох, так, что там?
Asterion. It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur.
The famous son of Minos in Pasiphae.
This statue has a crack in it.
Погоди.
Let's go.
Я еще здесь не обошел. Я понял, что, скорее всего, это сюда меч пойдет.
Minos, son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete. Married to Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue. His gesture sealed his fate.
Хотя и здесь трещина. Вот игра. И здесь трещина.
Theseus, son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso. As long as a finger. I'd say between 6 and 8 centimeters. I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma. Daedalus. He's the architect of the labyrinth, and if I'm not mistaken, he's also the father of Icarus. Hey, there's a crack in this statue too. The crack is thin and about as long as a finger.
Я пока больше склоняюсь к Минотавру.
I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there.
Да это тайный ход. 100%.
What is that? It's like a sort of opening mechanism. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete.
She has no cracks. All right, well, let's continue anyways.
Она. Окей. У этого же тоже не было трещин. У Икара. Что это-то?
Icarus. The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Hey, there's no crack here. Well, let's keep going.
Да в смысле? Как я сюда попал? Твою мать, заблудился. Ну я ж как-то попал к Икару, подожди. О, фак. просто не помню, я к той статуе подходил. Не подходил.
Ariadne. In Greek mythology, she helped Theseus get through the labyrinth. Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart. I guide the sword that will kill the monster.
Я укажу путь мечу, который пронзит монстра.
Let's see. A crack as long as my finger.
То есть, смотри.
Here's the famous Ariadne's thread, thanks to which, if I remember rightly, Theseus avoided getting lost in the labyrinth.
Well, Monsieur de Richet, what brings you here?
Так, у тебя чё? Слабость психологии. Ну-ка.
To tell the truth, I was wondering the same thing about you.
It's rare for guests to wander about in
Ну
the
это
dark.
понятно было, что у
I
него
wanted to be alone for 5
этикет.
minutes.
You look worried.
Worried? No. Resolved would be a more exact term.
Resolved to do what?
What's the point in answering? You wouldn't believe me anyway. I'll be leaving now because whatever it is you're up to, I do not want to know. Be seeing you.
Tell me, aren't you even curious?
Curiosity killed a cat, Monsieur de Richet. I admit, I may have judged you wrongly. Watching you seek out Mortimer's little secrets might even be amusing, if I didn't already know the consequences. See you later.
What happened to you, monsieur?
It's time for me to assume the consequences of my choices. I've sold my soul to the devil. Now it's time to pay.
Окей.
Golden elixir.
Так. А как я буду идти по клубку, если... Что-то тут...
Theseus. He's the son of Aegeus. He became the mythical king of Athens, the unifying king. Pity, he's generally only remembered for having slayed the Minotaur. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso. As long as a finger.
I'd say between 6 and 8 centimeters.
Ну, у него...
I wonder if Mother managed to solve this enigma.
У него-то навряд ли должна была быть. Если мечи все здесь, вот эти вот.
Asterion. This statue has a crack in it. The crack is thin and about as long as a finger. I should be able to thrust in my sword. Right. We'll soon see. Sorry, Asti. Yet again, your story does not end well.
То есть 3 меча здесь есть, вот. Это, наверное, самый логичный исход. Я буду удивлен, если он неправильный.
What's wrong? Either I'm imagining things or my hand was pricked. It had poison on it. My head. I feel hot. It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it. It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Чё, неправильно? Ну, окей.
Asterion. Theseus. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Ну не идет этой статуи меч в груди. Ну да, попробуем. Да в смысле? Не ты, не так, окей.
Let's try something else instead. Daedalus. Hey, there's a crack in this statue too.
Да в смысле, это вообще глупо.
Daedalus. Alright, let's try again. You never know. minnows. The crack is in the region of the heart.
Чё музыка такая тревожная? Стрессе попытки.
Again?
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out!
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days. Let's see if you're in there, Mother. Amber. Bandages? Someone's been patching themselves up. Looks like my mother took advantage of being in hiding to change her bandages, huh? This is silk. She must have used her own clothes. There are patches where the blood isn't totally clotted. That's a good sign, right? She changed them recently, which proves she's still looking after herself and still believes in her chances. Well, I'd love to tell her to keep hanging in there. These bandages are pretty basic. She'll be lucky if she doesn't get an infection.
Что-то мне подсказывает, что это не твоя мать. Ох ты. Слуга.
Damn it, Mother. Now what's happened?
я мог найти в склепе важного человека? В смысле? Окей. Так. Еще бы прокачать.